Marry Me, Annie here. This video is about love. I actually inspired myself to do this video. Here's what I posted on Facebook earlier today on this subject. I love a day set aside to celebrate love. Love of self, friends, families, lovers, animals, the land, even just that feeling of love sent to the universe to manifest whatever it chooses. I think it's way cool that love has its day, as the moon has hers and the turning of the seasons has theirs. I have celebrated this day when I was single, when I was with a lover, when I was grieving over the separation from a lover. It always seemed to me that it was about something larger than my hurts, even in sad times. I love me, I love my man, I love my Anamkara, I love my critters, I love the love I hold for those no longer in my life, due either to death or what felt like death. I love every corny card I've ever received, every candlelight dinner and silk sheets night. I love the date nights I had with myself. Well, except the one where I took myself out to the movies to see RoboCop and screamed in the theater, embarrassing myself. I love the memory of my Pop-Pop telling me I was his favorite Valentine, and my Nana telling me I was her first Valentine. I love all of the hearts that have a piece of me in them. And I love all of the pieces of my loved ones in my heart. I've had a lot of reason to think about love. I've seen a lot of videos from those who are celebrating it and those who are suffering because of a breakup, or who are everything from sad to angry that they are feeling not enough love in their life. You know, I'm not somebody who believes in soulmates or twin flames. I believe in that wholeness within ourselves, that what we find to love about ourselves is what others will love of us. I don't think we see ourselves reflected in another or completed by another or others. I think the beauty of love is when what we love about ourselves connects with, blends with what someone else loves about their self. I've had a lot of experience with love and loss in my life. Whether it is loved ones who passed too early or who lived a full life. I've had a lot of experience with a broken heart. You don't live to be my age without having had a lot of experience with broken hearts. Yours and the ones that you created. I can say I never did it intentionally, but I know I broke a few hearts in my time. I love Valentine's Day. I don't feel we have to spend money or join in the commercial celebrations of it, no more than we have to join in any commercial celebrations of any of the holidays, including the fuss we make over and the purchase we make honoring each other's birthdays. I think we do what feels like a celebration for us, no matter the cost. It's all about an expression of emotion. I have never stopped loving anyone in my life. And I swear, it was harder to have to end a relationship or move on from, or have the relationship ended when love still existed. But looking back over the length of my life, I'm grateful for the fact that my heart hung in there. Ending relationships was never about falling out of love to me. No matter how dramatic and traumatic the endings were, it was about realizing it was time to move on, grow, develop in a different direction. Probably more than anything, it was a time to remember what I loved about myself. All the times of greatest sadness when it came to love in my life were the times that I had fallen out of love with myself. I was a late starter. I was a typical geeky, bespectacled, head in the books, chubby kid. So romantic love came a little bit later in my life. And not because I was a chubby, bespectacled, head in the books youngster. Because I didn't love myself very much then. But when I fell in love with myself is when I discovered the true potential of love in my life. Love has brought me amazing people. People who stayed, people who left, through choice or because their time here was done. This full moon was a wonderful opportunity for me to spend time in love as a witch, to live in what it felt like at the level of emotion and passion and belief, and at the level of the body. I made a 3-day celebration out of it. I have one more day left. I'm taking time over those 3 days to re-court myself, to treat myself as a loved one, to remember why I love myself. With all my warts and challenges, I actually do think I'm eminently lovable, and perhaps the person who's always had the most difficult loving me is me. These 3 days are also including time to be with the man that I love, my Roger, to spend time with him, heart to heart and body to body, celebrating what I see in him that I love deeply. I guarantee you, it's the parts of him he loves about himself. And I happen to be proud to say, because I met him at a particularly mature and healthy stage of my life, all those lessons of love culminated in Roger fell in love with what about me I loved about myself. That's why I'm quite sure that's the way it's supposed to be. I'm also going to spend time in the memory of love, honoring all of those I have loved who are no longer present, whether it's because our life took us in different directions, whether we were lovers or partners and no longer are, or whether death took a loved one away from me. I wasn't ready for that until this turning of my season, having turned 60 and having a bit of a look back over my life. It was hard at times. I found that I couldn't revisit a lot of the feelings of love that I had without revisiting great pain that was sometimes associated with them. Everything from the babies that died that I never got to hold in my arms, to the marriages and partnerships that did not last, to friends that died way too early. That takes a special part of our heart and turns it into tears. And then to remember the love I have held for so many who have in their own time passed on to whatever comes next. I have a sense of being in love and being loved throughout all those years of my life. I'm ready to look at it honestly, to remember what love felt like. I truly believe I can remember that more strongly now than I can the pain that was sometimes associated with it. A witch in love, understanding it at the physical, energetic, and spiritual level, understanding the wisdom that it brings us, the vulnerability, the way we make, in a way, a sacrifice of ourselves, knowing that we're putting it all on the line, and never being sure how it's going to turn out. I remember all the times I was alone. Sometimes comfortably so. Sometimes not so comfortably so. The difference? The older I got, when there were times that I was alone, I realized I was a pretty fine woman to spend time with. I thought I had learned the lessons of loving myself, and I realized there were still things to learn. I really think that I learned them. A couple places recently, people have shared a heartache, an experience they have gone through or are in the middle of going through. And they ask for advice how to get through these heart-wrenching times in our lives. My experience: first, love yourself, be kind to yourself. Forgive yourself the errors that you make, learning to love along the way. And hold in your heart that those we love may not always be a permanent fixture in our lives. They move on for so many reasons. We move on for so many reasons. It's about when life feels balanced and whole and healthy, and if being with someone encourages us to love ourselves first. I wouldn't give up a moment of the heartbreak I have experienced in my life, because I wouldn't give up the overwhelming, life-affirming love that was often part of the very same situations that cause tears and heartache. I am so grateful at this time in my life to be at ease with who I am in relationship to my lover, my beloved husband. I couldn't be in a better place. I love myself, and I am loved because of the very same things I love in myself. And I love Roger for the very same things he loves about himself. It's not a matter of completing each other. It is a matter of our energies coming together, feeling each other at a level that is more intimate, more deep, more connected than we feel to anyone or anything else. There are lessons from every single time I gave my heart that are part of who I am now, and in a way part of that relationship that Roger and I share. It's the sum of all the parts of love that are in me, what I'm capable of, my memories of it. I love a day to celebrate love. Here's how I ended my post on Facebook. I love all of the hearts that have a piece of me in them. And I love all of the pieces of my loved ones that reside in my heart. Here's to that little bit of you that is in me, and to the little bit of me that is in you. What is love, if not gratitude? I offer big hugs, big, enveloping, thankful you are in my life once. To all of you. To honor this day for celebrating love, we watched the moon come up over the bay at our house tonight. Here's a couple of pictures of that. Consider it a love beam sent your way. I wish you all mirth, reverence, and love. Merry part.